Good morning, my name is Greg Ison. I'm with Ison's Nursery. On this educational video today, we're going to demonstrate how we fertilize young muscadine plants as well as older ones. Now, we are relatively aggressive with fertilizer. This first year is the year that we can encourage the most vegetative growth that we possibly can because the plant is not at a fruit-bearing age. A lot of customers will say, well, I didn't know I was supposed to fertilize, or I was told not to fertilize the first year. And the logic behind that is, well, we want to get the roots established. Well, I completely disagree with that wholeheartedly. The first year is the year where we can encourage the most growth in order to get the vine or tree or what have you closer to fruit-bearing age. The first year, all the plant's resources goes to growth. We're not sharing resources with plants that are blooming, plants that are trying to bear fruit. So the first year, in my opinion, is the most critical year to encourage the most growth as we can. If we can get this vine up and down the wire the first year, we're that much closer to fruit production. If we can get a fruit tree 6, 7, 8 foot tall the first year with some nice scaffold branching, we're that much closer to full production. If we can get a blueberry another 18, 24, 30 inches tall, we're that much closer to full production. So it's very critical to fertilize the plants the first year. And we're going to demonstrate how we fertilize young muscadine plants as well as how we fertilize older plants. Now, on the first year on a plant like this, we recommend fertilizing roughly 6 to 8 times. On April 1st, May 1st, June 1st, and July 1st, we recommend fertilizing with a 10-10-10 or a triple 13. And on the 15th of those same months, we recommend fertilizing with calcium nitrate. So April 1st would be a 10-10-10 application. April 15th would be a calcium nitrate application. May 1st, 10-10-10. May 15th, calcium nitrate. June 1st, 10-10-10. June 15th, calcium nitrate. July 1st, 10-10-10. And July 15th, calcium nitrate. That sounds like a lot of fertilizer, I know, but we're using smaller amounts. We're using a 1/4 pound per application, which is about 4 ounces, roughly a handful. And we're going to keep that fertilizer about 15 inches out from the trunk area. When we fertilize that frequently, the plant is getting all types of nutrients releasing to it to encourage as much growth as we possibly can achieve. And that's why we're fertilizing so aggressive to get this vine up and down the wire. Now, this is some of our custom blend fertilizer. This is designed specifically for muscadines. So on a plant like this, I don't have any scales, but roughly a 1/4 pound is going to be about your handful. So roughly that would be a safe amount to apply. So we're going to come in here on the first of the month, and we're going to keep it out about 12 to 15 inches out from the trunk. So here's my trunk area here. So I'm just going to lightly sprinkle this in about a 12 to 15 inch circle around the plant. Okay? So when you see it on the ground, it doesn't look like that much fertilizer. Now, a triple 10 or a triple 13 will generally last for about 30 to 45 days. When we apply the fertilizer, we're not going to rake it into the soil, and we're not going to water it in. We're just going to leave it there. The fertilizer will release with temperature and rainfall or irrigation when we're irrigating. So we would come out on the first of the month of April, May, June, July, and make that application. Now, on the 15th of those same months, we would come in with some calcium nitrate. Now, calcium nitrate is, in theory, a plant steroid. What it will do is it will darken up our leaves, it'll give us a deep green leaf color, and it'll give us an explosion of growth. It's a quick release fertilizer, it greens the plant up really quick, and we get a nice growth spurt from an initial application. Now, I know I just applied the triple 10 fertilizer, but for this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you how we would apply the calcium nitrate. Now, calcium nitrate is what we call a hot fertilizer. And what I mean by that is you can burn a plant relatively easily if you're not overly careful with it. Now, when I say careful, we're going to make about that same application. It's going to be about a handful. But the thing to remember is we have to keep it out about 15 inches. If I was to put this fertilizer right here on this trunk area, I could potentially burn this plant, particularly if we had a lot of rain come in shortly after application. So when you use the calcium nitrate, look at your weather, make sure there's no 1 or 2 inches predicted rainfall. And we're going to make the same application. We're going to take about a handful, which is roughly going to be about 1/4 pound, and we're going to just lightly sprinkle it in a 15-inch circle around the plant, just like we did the triple 10. We're not going to water it in, we're not going to rake it in, we're just going to let it sit on the ground. Now, ideally, these applications are made 2 weeks apart. So on the 1st of the month, we'd use the triple 10. On the 15th of the month, we'd use the calcium nitrate. In my opinion, there's no better fertilizer to use than calcium nitrate to encourage plant growth. It's a quick release, it's a green up, and we use it on young plants to encourage them up and down the wire. And we also use them on mature plants to encourage overall health of the plant. Our job as gardeners or commercial growers or hobbyists, what have you, our goal is to put this plant or whatever plant we are growing in the best situation for it to be successful. There are so many things that are out of our control that we just have to, accept that. But one thing that is in our control is how we fertilize the plants. So the complete fertilizer with the 10-10-10 and the calcium nitrate on young grapevines is critical, in my opinion, to get the vines up and down the wire. I've seen too many times where people didn't fertilize and this plant gets stuck right here at this size because it doesn't have any nutrients releasing to it. So if you follow our recommended fertilizer applications, you'll have complete success in getting this vine up and down the wire, and you'll be sharing muscadines with your friends and families a whole lot sooner. Thank you.